Alhassan Bala, fact-checker, OSIN specialist, co-founder, Alkalanci, joins us in the studio for this discussion as it relates to the developments that we're seeing across boards. The Osun State elections just a few days away, and of course the general elections, which is just 162 days away. Thank you so much for joining us, which
Thank
we
you.
appreciate. Let's start with the Osun State elections. We just are counting days to this particular elections. What are you seeing on the ground as something that might be misinformation or disinformation ongoing right now?
Generally, when it comes to election, it has to do with the political party and candidates. That is where the misinformation and disinformation comes, and also the misinformation about the electoral umpire, that is INEC, whereby a lot of people will think like their vote will not count, which will eventually cause voters apathy.
Right. Is that what is going on right now for Osun State with what you've seen?
What we are seeing right now is more about the political parties. It's more about the candidates. There are a lot of few misleading claims about political party A and political party B to Z, for example, and then about candidate A, candidate B. That is what is right now going on, and which I have already seen some few ones, although because the work I do as fact checker and also OSINT, I'm actually focusing on local language, Hausa, but I am seeing the one in English language.
AI-generated content, if you look at it from every part, is becoming believable with what we are seeing so far. I mean, these companies are refining their systems to make AI look really real. How prepared is Nigeria as a nation, and even, of course, every stakeholder to beat what might come off as something that we might, be regretting when these things come up?
To be honest, AI are becoming more sophisticated to some extent, like differentiating between the genuine or authentic videos or pictures are becoming more difficult to detect. Although there are a lot of ways to also detect based on the fact that there is nothing that will beat real something, authentic something. But the major issue now, for example, in Nigeria is that while there is a cyber security agency or unit that is in the Office of the National Security Advisor covering that, but I didn't actually see any much concerted effort to do something regarding these AI matters. Only the fact that the recent directive by the president about the social media companies had to do this to Nigerians, this and that, I think maybe that one may really help when they put on the Cybersecurity Act, which will have to do with the issue of cyberbullying, stalking, and so many other things, maybe will also help. But in terms of the AI generated things, generally, there is no much thing right now, and also it is going to cause a lot of harm to the society, a lot of harm to Nigeria, because this AI generated pictures, that is the propaganda is even sending to Nigeria from outside, which is the foreign information manipulation and interference, which is to also affect the Nigerian fragile democracy. And also we have been noticing that, and the pattern is ongoing. So I believe that Nigerian, like you mentioned, need to do more, the Nigerian government. Although my problem, or our problem as fact checkers, we see, or the OSIN especially, we see that the leaders or the politicians sometimes are the beneficiaries of some propagandas, beneficiaries of some false narratives. So internally, there is these actors that they are benefiting from it, so they don't want that thing to end. Like the organization I co-founded, Alkalanci, for example, we are training religious leaders, for example. We told them, like, there was a time I told them, like, if you do any propaganda or say false narrative, if it affect a particular political leader or somebody like a governor or somebody, it affects him directly, he can ask for your arrest. But if it favors him, he will clap. That is where the problem is. The same thing with the opposition parties. If the propaganda favors them, they will start clapping to that particular person that spread the particular misinformation or disinformation. They have a lot of role to play. And also, the sad thing is, for example, in my state, Kano State, for example, is the the Sojojin Baka, which are like the soldier of mouth. They are the one that will enter radio station and just mix the truth and the falsehood. Maybe that is not much in the southern part of the country, but in the north is much. It is much. So those people are contributing to that, and the political leaders are clapping them because those that are mixing the fact with the false narrative are also benefiting from it.
Most Nigerians take a lot of these messages, especially election messages, on WhatsApp, on X, and even on Instagram or other social media handles. I'm just wondering, are there specific steps that Nigerians should take themselves in order to verify information that they receive? How is that step possible?
Number one is that not every particular information you see on social media is true. That's number one thing every Nigerian should understand. Not anything you see, like you just believe it. Most especially if it has to do that is emotion, or that is divisive, or that is hatred. Once there are those things, means that there are a lot of, that are part of the red flags, which Nigerians need to. Then another issue is verification. You need to search, like, did any credible media organization reported this? Even if sometimes some media organizations, sometimes some misinformation or this slipped, we have seen that. So in that aspect, you will check with others, with other credible media organizations. All cannot be the same. So that is the simple way to get it. But the priority is that not every single information you see on social media is true. And also, if it is divisive, it's called hatred, it is emotional, it touched your heart like you started thinking negative, that is red flag. That means it's likely the aim is to trigger that emotion and cause violence and cause division, or in terms of election to cause you to lose hope, in the entire democracy or the election generally, which eventually will lead to voter apathy.
What should Nigerians look out for, especially as we build up to the major election? We know the election is just 8 days away. What should Nigerians look out for, especially as it concerns disinformation, misinformation, in the build up to this very crucial elections that is 162 days away?
Audio.
Audio?
Yes. Audio, AI audios.
AI audios?
Yeah. Those are going to be the most dangerous ones sometimes, much more than the video and the pictures, because they are becoming more realistic. They are becoming more something you believe, like this is the person. The recent one about the president, you heard about it. It wasn't the president, but the AI mimic the voice of the president to make it, this is the president that is saying that. So that may likely happen with a lot of candidates in the political parties, a lot of people in different political parties, maybe the leadership of the particular political parties, so that people should be extra careful. And also INEC, there may be somebody who will create or use AI to mimic the chairman of INEC. That can be mimic IGP, for example, or any of the head of the security agencies. That people should actually watch out. Not every audio in the coming election you will listen, you will understand, unless if it is coming from credible media organization. For example, if News Central put a video with the IGP saying something, with the chairman of INEC saying something, with the president saying something, you cannot do that, except if you are videographer or cameraman is there, capture the president, capture the person, then you use it. Aside that, actually people should be extra careful in terms of any audio they receive, mostly on WhatsApp.
Right. I mean, speaking of audio, really, for audio, how do you detect it? Because, I mean, it sounds just like the example you gave, the president's audio being mimicked by AI. How do you detect it?
Well, it's one of the most difficult thing for even what they call them, fact checkers. It's one of the most difficult things to detect among the fact checkers globally. So it's even for us as fact checkers, it's actually becoming very difficult to talk less about ordinary citizens. But one important thing is that if you hear the audio, just make sure you search or you look forward to different radio stations, different TV stations, because there is no way you hear the audio without maybe having video. And also, if it is the audio, have the extended one. Is it like the cut and join, or what happened?
Right. Alhassan Bala, many thanks. We truly appreciate you for insights on the program this evening.
Thank you, too.
All right.